Wrestlemania predictions for night one. Here we go. I'm not going to take much of time. First of all, we have the War Raiders versus the New Day. And I think as the New Day are now turning heel, they will win this match. And something will have to do with Big E, but I don't know what it will be. But the New Day are definitely taking the World Tag Team Championships in this matchup. And it's been so long since they've done that. The second, we have Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which is obviously Chad Gable, as everyone knows it, and obviously Chad Gable is going to get unmasked here, and Rey Mysterio will win that, will get that big babyface win. This will be one of the most entertaining matches of the night. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair could go anyway. Could go anyway. Charlotte has huge heat on her. Tiffany is a huge favorite among the fans, but both still have got haters. Both still have got some lovers. I think Tiffany somehow retains this one because there is just way too much heat on Charlotte right now. Then quickly we go on to LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the United States Championship. And I think if Solo Sikoa is not the one who Randy Orton is facing in his match, I think it will be Solo who interferes in this matchup and costs Jacob the title. LA Knight still retains the title, and Jacob goes on to have a feud with Solo. Jade Cargill versus Naomi, or Naomi, however you pronounce it. Jade Cargill easily takes the win here. This will be a good match. This will be a really good match, and Jade Cargill is taking an easy win here. Jade Cargill is going on to become one of the women's championships. She's going to win one of the women's championships. I don't know when, maybe at SummerSlam, but it is not far away. That point is not far away. Maybe it ties into something with Bianca later. Next, we have Gunther versus Jey Uso. I know how much hate there is on Jey Uso on the internet, but that is not the case when it comes to the actual audiences, the live audiences. And so Jey Uso is taking the win here. He's winning the World Championship. Maybe he's just a transitional champion. Maybe he won't hold on to the belt for long. But Gunther is taking the pin here. It doesn't matter if he takes the pin here because he's already a star. And Jey Uso is getting his big WrestleMania moment. Everyone will be yeeting at the end of this match. And the last match of night one, the most anticipated match probably of the whole show, WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman versus Seth Rollins. There is no way Roman Reigns is winning this match. That is a guarantee. It could be Seth Rollins if the favor is that Heyman helps Rollins wins the match. But it could also be Punk because he has deserved this win. He has all the momentum going his way, and he has Paul Heyman with him. But Paul Heyman owes Seth Rollins a favor now. I think one of two things could happen. Either Paul Heyman successfully delivers upon the favor that he owes to Seth Rollins and helps Rollins win this matchup and possibly ties it into something to do with Cody and everyone. Or CM Punk wins, he pins Roman Reigns, but after the match, Paul Heyman turns on CM Punk, maybe low blows him, and joins Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman close out the show. With Rollins having his foot over Punk's chest. I don't know. Now we come to night two, and the first match we have is Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, the women's tag team champions, versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who is already holding one of the women's mid-card championships. And Bayley and Lyra are taking the win here. I'm not sure if Liv and Raquel split here. Maybe Dominic does something and the Judgment Day just completely explodes, or implodes is the right word. But Bayley and Lyra are winning the championships. They're holding on to them for some time, and maybe Bayley will turn heel along the way. Next, we have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. And Rhea Ripley is not winning this matchup. There is no way she wins it. There's already some heat on Rhea Ripley from the fans. Some fans are annoyed. Uh, it is probably a little too much of Rhea Ripley at the moment. I'm not complaining, but that's just the way how a large section of the fans feels. I know the company doesn't care about that, but Io Sky just has too much of momentum in her way right now, and there is no way Bianca or Rhea will stop it. Maybe Bianca will be stopped by Jade or Naomi. Next, we have Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in a Sin City street fight. This will be a banger of a match. Drew is probably the best wrestler in the world, as I said before. You can check it out on my channel, the video. And Damian is he's getting better, and he's much better as a singles competitor than in a stable. This will be a really good match, and Damian will of course take the win, and Drew will get pinned once again. I hate to say Drew losing, but that is just the way it is going to be. Next, we have Braun versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. This has the potential to be probably the best match on the card uh, for a large section of the fans. If you like that kind of wrestling, I do not usually like three ways or four ways matches, but it is going to be a good match. And I think Dominic Mysterio will take the Intercontinental Championship here, and the reign of Dirty Dom starts here. He's finally going to win a singles championship again. This will be a really good match, and I would love to see Dominic win. And then we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Logan Paul is probably the most hated competitor in the company right now, and I get all the hate. And whichever way you or I feel about him, we can't deny that he is good in the ring. He is somewhat natural than many wrestlers. I don't know, and this will be a great match. This will be a really good match. I could see this going either way because AJ Styles is a legend and he needs that win after coming back for so long. But I think Logan Paul will be taking this win, and he will be that cocky heel who gets the win at every WrestleMania. There is always one of those matches which everyone hates to see, but then that's just the way it's gonna be. But it'll be a good match. That I agree. And then finally, we have the biggest match of the year: Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the Undisputed Championship. This match would be insane. I can say that there will be many interferences in this matchup, like there were last year, and everyone came on to interfere in the match last year. I think The Rock definitely will have something to do with this match. I think maybe Paul Heyman, Rollins, or CM Punk, one of those guys, will have something to do with this match. But it'll be a good match, and I think Cena finally takes the 17th world title, and the reign of 17-time world champion John Cena starts here. This will be an iconic moment. This will be one of those moments that you just can't miss out on. And one thing that I forgot to mention, the Randy Orton match, who would be Randy Orton's opponent. I would love to see it being Nick Aldis or Magnus, whatever you want to call him. But that's just not going to be it, and I think it will be Rusev or Aleister Black, whoever comes back to the company. But I just so wish that it could be Nick Aldis. Anyways, those were my WrestleMania predictions. What are your predictions? Just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys sometime soon.